Peace. Welcome to the Underachievers podcast. I'm Brother Khalif.
I'm Brother Marcus. Peace to you.
This episode isn't for the man who wants to stay comfortable. It's for the man who's tired of living small, tired of being seen like the nice guy. But this man wants to get respect. He wants the voice. He wants the position he deserves. Let me be clear. It's not about bashing kindness. It's about breaking the spell of the so-called good guy. That role, so many of us were trained to play the polite, the quiet, ever smiling, always agreeable man who is deep down angry, drained, and invisible. The world says that's virtuous. Um, but you really being passive, you're not being righteous. You're really being agreeable, and you're not standing on truth. You're not building, you're not defending, and you're not becoming a real leader. So today we're about to break down a couple ways why that's dangerous, not just personally, but spiritually. So one of the first point we're gonna make is kindness, and kindness being avoiding conflict. A lot of times you think you can't be real because you don't want to stand on your square. But that's how you people don't really know you.
Right.
They know this character you create in this image that, oh, I'm this nice guy, it's all right for you to step over me, and and people keep doing it.
Yeah.
And when you realize it never stopped, and you finally get mad, they be like, what's wrong?
I'm trying to tell you, man, it's like people, they think that they doing like they a new type of man or something. Like I'm a more advanced type of man that's just very smart and I think deep. So the way I am is very masculine and manly, but I'm a smartly be kind of kind or something. Or people, nice guys, they sometimes trick themselves like that, like, oh, this is how a man is supposed to act. I don't know what's up with all that rah-rah stuff that other dudes do. I know how to be a different type of man that's just super intelligent. We'll blame it on smarts, really. Or like a nice guy, a lot of times they'll blame their kindness and their over niceness on whatever they can. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anything but it's time uh to be involved in a conflict. It's like anything but that. I don't want to be involved in a conflict. So, oh, it's just because I'm just this deep dude and I know how to be kind of quiet. But just like you said, the thing about that is when conflict come, like if you ever are fed up, a lot of times the person you mad at, they never knew you was that mad. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what the heck?
And when you start, um, if you're not careful, you become a coward real fast.
Yeah.
And a coward dies 1,000 deaths. So it's a lot of times you constantly looking, you being looked over, and like I said, you want the same people to do what you did to them, and it's just not gonna work. And people come off, if you're too nice, they think you scared. And they think you're a pushover, and most people out for themselves and they don't care.
Yeah.
And you over here making all these concessions and they just taking them.
Yeah.
Taking them. So you're gonna have to speak truth to power eventually. And you're gonna have to get used to people not liking you for being yourself.
That's real. That's like the beginning of life. Like it's feel like, or the beginning of a happy life is that when you really don't care, as long as you can live your life the way that you want to. But when you always concerned about how people feel or think about you, it's like you putting yourself in your own little cage, where you can't live. Um, Desperation. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to the next point.
My bad.
The next point is selflessness.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But that's really
it was like, wait a minute.
that's really self-abandonment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You give, you give, you give till you empty. Because you think that's what a good man does.
Mhm.
You don't even know who you are anymore. And worse, like the people you sacrifice for, like we talked about earlier, don't even care.
Don't.
Because like you really gotta understand, nobody knows what's going on inside your head but you and God. We know you from your behavior.
Mhm.
So we see you as, like we talked about earlier, somebody who constantly he cool. This person's super cool. Don't worry, because I used to be like that. Oh, don't worry about him. Please don't get upset.
Mhm.
Or just go ahead, just step over him. He good. And I wanted to keep that identity so much
Yeah.
that that I really was abandoning myself.
Yeah.
I really was letting people, it's like, especially when you get in these relationships and in all your relationships, you got like this small sliver of space. And everybody else got the whole relationship to be themselves.
Mhm.
And you just, oh, I'm out there to really like that. What? It's cool, man. It's cool.
Right. Yeah.
It's cool. I don't want to listen to no music. I'm good.
Yep.
When it's time for you to, they get the aux,
Mhm.
they take over the auxiliary cord. When it's time for you to pick a movie, they get to pick. When it's time for you to get, it's like you don't even know who you are.
Don't. Yeah. Empty inside or empty in the relationship. And they don't really get to experience you, but you don't even get to experience them. You
Facts.
know what I'm saying? That's like
Facts.
the thing. It's like they, you because you don't get to, it's like you slowly start dying, even if you was ever even alive in the first place. But it's because some people they'll get in a relationship or a friendship, and everything that they do is a compromised situation for the next person.
Mhm.
So now is, oh, your friends don't like this, so I can't like it. I mean, you may not necessarily say that in your head, but you'll automatically start moving towards the thing they like. Or family. We do that a lot with family. Your mama may not want you to do something. I mean, I'm talking about a grown adult though.
Mhm.
Your mama may not want you to do something or want you to be a certain thing. So then you won't, you know what I'm saying? You won't do it. Or your woman or saying your wife may not want you to do something. So you'll start not, instead of expressing like, you know what, this is who I am. This is what I like, and yeah, that's pretty much,
So
that one.
our next point is loyalty. You really just hoping to be chose. So when we say that, you think that because I do something, you will like me and I will belong. And you keep doing that. And then you realize the other person not doing that.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
and this stuff kind of builds resentment. You make these invisible deals to
right.
where you like, all right, we can go where I want to go next. And it's especially dangerous in a relationship because you will minimize yourself that it will only be about the other person.
Mm,
And you'll find yourself begging for space.
man.
And you don't want to, in a relationship, it's like the quicker you yourself, the quicker you can carve space for yourself.
Yep.
And man,
Man.
over the long haul, and this is like in a
Yeah.
relationship too, and in a friendship too, over the long, it's like it's man, it's how you start and how you start is how you finish.
Right.
You can turn it around, but once people get an idea about who you are, they just kind of go with that.
Mm.
It's like if you're a family member, they're like, oh, that's a little Jimmy or whatever. And you can be 10 feet tall,
that
400 pounds. They're just in their brain, that's who they got you as.
image is stuck with them.
And you think you doing this for love, but you're doing this for likes.
Yep.
And the
And you
other
want to be loved from other people. You
Mhm.
want to be liked from other people. But one thing that I've came to realize is that me loving me is that's the heaviest one. It's like I can have 50 people that got love for me. 50, 100 people, 60, whatever number of people got love for DeMarcus. But no love is greater than the love that DeMarcus had for DeMarcus. That love that I got for myself, it champions millions of people. Because when I wake up in the morning and I put it like this, 24 hours out of every day, I'm with me. You know what I'm saying? So the love we looking for other people, we have to have for ourselves. Um, and you can't replace that love with other people's love. That's like the thing that I had a hard time understanding it. Like, but I didn't even think that I didn't love myself. But self-love is it's something that has to be practiced. So if you're not practicing it in your daily relationships and friendships, you know what I'm saying?
And you got to get out of this. When
Yeah.
you loving yourself, you have to get out this. I love who I'm going to be in 10 years.
Man, bro, that's real, man.
Because it's not loving who you are right now.
It's not.
No, it's you loving your potential.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what
you're
I'm
right.
saying.
Yeah,
You,
you're
you
right.
don't like
Yeah,
who you actually are.
yeah.
When you get too much into your potential,
Hmm.
yeah, you
Loving who you wish you could
there
be
you
in the
go.
future.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
That part.
yeah, yeah,
That part and you moving from that.
yeah.
You're like, man, I'm a $1 million person. And you're like, you're not.
Right.
You can barely
Hmm.
rub together a nickel.
Man,
And you resent you resent who you are to yourself.
yeah.
So when somebody come tell you the truth about you, you get really mad because you
Mhm.
don't want your identity being threatened.
Man, that's real.
And you don't, man, you ain't you
Somebody shot me down. That's the thing you care about is the future self that you wish you could be.
Yeah,
Like, bro, you're not a millionaire.
yeah.
You ain't some deep dude who, you know what I'm saying, that embodies all the wisdom and you know what I'm saying, you a punk.
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and that's cool though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, because if you can admit that and be like, you know what, I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? But I got you. Like this is me in the mirror. Man, I'm effed up and I'm tripping. But I got you. You know what I'm saying? Who got me? I got you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're gonna be good because if I got you and I'm inside it and me and you the same person, it sounds kind of crazy, but it's just like how people say that you could be your worst enemy. But as soon as you get on the same side as not your enemy, you unstoppable. You know what I'm saying?
It's like we were talking about the other day. You cannot let honesty and truth be an enemy to you. Come on.
Yeah, that's real, man.
If somebody is honest with you and not hurt your core,
Yeah.
so you living a lie.
Mhm.
If somebody tell you the truth about you and it hurt you,
And it hurt, yeah.
you should thank you because
Mhm.
the point of going to the gym is because you're weak.
Yeah.
What's the point if you go in there if you're strong?
Right. Yeah.
What you gonna do there? They're gonna lift the whole gym up or something? Like
Yeah.
no, it's for weak people. That's why they got 5s, 10s, 15, 20. Because it was only for strong people, they only have 100-pound barbells.
Right.
That's not how it works. It's okay to be a loser. It's okay to be lame. It's okay to be whack. Deal with that so you can grow to be a respectable person.
Better and better, man.
Because if you're not gonna do that, people go. You don't see how you start to be manipulative after a minute.
Yeah.
You start to manipulate everything. Oh man, I'll get it next time, or you overextend yourself so you can make up for being weak. So you don't want to do that. You're just gonna have to be like, I can't do this and I can do that, and it's hurtful because you got that identity of your future self would be this, that. And it's like, you ain't.
Yeah.
It's 2025.
Right. Me living as me right now. You know, you know, this the thing. If you sitting in your house, you got to be able to love yourself right where you at. I was about to say your funky self.
You
You
should
need to
though.
take a bath though. But you know what I'm saying. But you should be. If nobody else gonna love you, you got to be able to love that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but it's like it be things like, oh, I'm not meeting the standard that people wanted me to meet. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah.
I do care, but right now I love me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I overslept for that thing. That's bad. You should have got it together and did it. But I love you. Give me myself a hug. You know what I'm saying? Like even my shortcomings. Come on. I got me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that should be enough right there. Especially if you're praying. I'm gonna put that in there too, because if you anybody is ever struggling with that prayer, man,
Surely I have been adjusting myself and I confess my faults.
come on. Talk to Allah. Yeah.
Surely it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and just be real with yourself so you can grow. It don't work if you're not real.
Mm-hmm.
Because you lying. If you already wise, don't ask for advice. You know, if you
Right.
already rich, don't ask for money. Because it don't work out that way. And people can see who you really are.
So that's almost all they see.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you can see the future and the past and all this other stuff. Because that's another thing. Some people are like they thinking about what they used to be and what they used to do. It's like no, people see what you are right now.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So and another
Yeah.
another point we go with is being agreeable. But that's really having a lack of conviction.
Mhm.
You ever notice that buttholes don't really people always work around them.
Oh yeah, people. Yeah,
Yeah, you see the guy at the job, I ain't about to do this, I ain't about to do that. And they be working around them.
Yep.
And you be the one, yes, I'll do this, yes, I'll do that, and they screw you every time.
Come on, man.
Because you being agreeable because you just I don't want to work overtime.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to work 7 days a week.
Yeah. Real
But
tough.
you just, oh yeah, I'm doing it for the team, I'm doing this and that, and they
Man, that's so funny that you say that. It's like every situation I got a story because I actually had like I say my first job. It was really my second job, but whatever. It was a dude there, and I mean, the manager was terrible. She was so mean to everybody, right? But it was a dude there, and me and him was black because I worked in the suburbs, so it was a lot of white folks. But he was older than me, but he'd be on the phone cussing and yelling. Instead of doing his job, he'd be outside cussing somebody out. You know what I'm saying? And everybody just knew, I forget his name, but everybody knew not to play with him because he'd be walking through that mug looking mad, man. He'd do his little job and he'd go home. Sometimes it seemed like he'd go home early. But other than him, the manager was mean to everybody. You know what I'm saying? But him, she'd be like, hey, oh, you need to go home? Oh, okay, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And he was kind of mean to everybody as well. That's the funny thing. He was low-key kind of cold shoulderous to everybody there. But they kept him around. He never got fired. He never got messed with. Everybody worked around him. Everybody knew this is how he is. That's what we literally say. Hey, you know how he is. We used to always used to say that. Like, you know how he is. But everybody else trying to be nice, we got the short end of the stick when dealing with the mean manager. There was a female there. It was an older white lady. Yeah.
if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And people know you don't stand for something.
Yep.
And don't let tensions and temperance get out of hand. They just you being agreeable don't help.
Man.
You really, like I said, it's saying no is one of the most powerful tools you're gonna ever use.
Right.
Because it's putting you first. It's hard to say no. A lot of people, like you said, like that butthole, they say no way more times than they say yes.
Yeah.
They say no way more times than they say yes.
Yeah.
And even when we get our children, you ended up saying no way more times than you say yes because you spoil them if you say yes too much.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the people around you. You spoil them if you say yes too much.
Yep.
Can you help me with this, this, this? Sure, 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 sure. And then when they got the boundaries, you be like, what?
Right.
What do
Yeah.
you mean? I don't got no boundaries. You ain't supposed to have no boundaries.
Trying to tell you, man. And I done had people who owe me money hound me about some money. I'm like, man, you owe me money. You forgot. I mean, I just didn't say nothing. I just tried to let it go.
Right.
But if I owed them $2, you got my $2, you owe me $50. You know what I'm saying? You forgot you owe me $50. Yeah, I was just trying to be nice. I didn't want to,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, man.
because they knew that they didn't, but you were so agreeable that they're like,
Yeah.
I'm not paying you back.
Yeah, they're like, that 50 is whatever.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, you ain't gonna do nothing about that. You know,
Right.
You never do. So their $50, that don't mean nothing. I want my $2. You know I don't play. That's how they is.
And while we on this, because we were just talking about this earlier, you don't know how often you disrespect yourself being agreeable.
That's real.
And you go around here being, but in your brain, you not being disrespectful. Like you not in your brain, you like, oh, I didn't let this man disrespect me, but you do because you don't stand for nothing.
Yep.
And they be like, oh, this dude don't respect himself. He say yes to everything.
Yep. Yeah, that's how they gonna look at it. Yeah.
He don't respect himself, and you. Man, you just be like, I'm not gonna go for it, and they gonna test you, and you gonna have to be like, yo, it is what it is. Let the chips fall where they may. But if you ain't that type of person that's gonna stand for something, because you gonna have to fight sometimes.
Yep.
Good guys, it's like
to argue sometimes.
You the guy in the school who get like the nice guy who get punched in the face and don't punch back.
Yeah,
because the school rules say
don't punch. Yeah, that's real, man.
That's not how that works.
Man, and that's another thing, man. People avoid arguments. Right. Like, man, hey, sometimes it come down to it. I'm talking about man to man.
Yeah.
You don't want to be arguing in the house and stuff, what I'm saying. But even then, I mean, sometimes you have to, when we talk about romantic relationships or whatever. But I'm saying I've seen men try to avoid arguments with other men. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you a nice guy.
You're constantly,
you a nice guy. Yeah.
Constantly trying to de-escalate situations.
Yeah.
And when people understand that, that you're gonna escalate on them. Yep. They're gonna escalate because they know you're gonna bring it back. Yeah. They know you're gonna bring it down. Okay, let's cool the Harris prevail. Now they doing this on purpose. People are doing it. They know if they get in your face, you gonna cower. And to you being agreeable, but that's not what you're doing. They just be like, you're a punk. Yep. That's it. That's exactly what they said. Like I said, in relationships, like not relationships, but in friendships, your friend think you're a punk. As soon as you leave the room, they might not say it to your face because they don't tell the truth to nice guys. Right. It's hard to tell the truth to nice guys. You can try to tell the truth to a nice guy, he gonna tell you that ain't how it is. Right. It's very hard to tell the truth to a nice dude. Because it's like, because he's tied into what he think he is. Right. Versus than what it is. You know? And yeah. And to go into this, you being impatient. You think you're being patient, but you really just mad. And you think that, and other people don't play that. Yep. They're not about to sit there and grit their teeth like you are. They're not sit there and lay down like you about to lay down. And man, they'll never let me go. They not about to take that. Not for 1 second. I've seen people be passive like that before and then try to take it as patience. You got people who, like somebody will come next to them and like, you ever been in public, like maybe at a bus stop and it'll be like a smelly bum or something like that.
you can tell if somebody is passive, like because they still standing there. You know what I'm saying? But somebody who, take up for themselves, hey, don't stand next to me. That's how they be acting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if a smelly bum come next to you, you're gonna say, don't stand next to me. But I've seen it where I've seen situations like that because I mean, that being downtown and stuff like that, you run into a lot of homeless. But it's just you can tell that that person has that type of spirit because it's like I'm not letting the homeless bum stand next to me that stink. You know what I'm saying? I'm either gonna say something to him or I'm gonna stand somewhere that's more suitable to me. And if he come next to me again, he really about to get some. He gonna get some talking to. I'm gonna tell you that much. Stop following me,
Right.
blankety blank. I might use some cuss words.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's just saying that's a part of that spirit that also deals with disrespect, from your friends and your family and
Yes.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You deal with all kind of disrespect. It's like when
Yeah.
people in a social type of way stand next to you and they bummy and smelly, I'm just saying that in a social type of way, meaning that they bringing something to your attention that you don't like or they doing something in your life that you don't like and you're not cool with, instead of you saying stop doing that, you will say, we try to be patient with them. We try to be patient with them instead of trying to let them know, look, back up away from me, dude. Get it, I'm not with that mess. Whatever. I'm all about expressing my feelings with, and don't get me wrong. I am still working on being better and better at this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm perfect at this. You know what I'm saying? But I am working on being better and better at this because uh for a while I have been that nice guy. You know. I remember when I was younger, and I regret this. I know I talk about the bum thing again. But this is when I used to eat fast food. I went to McDonald's and got me a double cheeseburger. I sat down, took one bite. This sloppy, smelly bum sat across from me. I was downtown. I just left my food there and walked out. Where I should have, you know, went in on him because he disturbed my. He just looked so bad. First of all, I should have got him kicked out of McDonald's. I'm trying to enjoy my meal. You know what I'm saying? But just saying that to say, I used to struggle with that, and I'm still making sure that I don't let people that I don't try to manipulate myself. And I remember we was talking about that self-manipulation and telling myself that, oh, you just being patient.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Versus looking at it like you are you're letting stuff happen to you. You're letting life happen to you. You're letting people just push you over, you know.
And for me, I realized I had a lot of fake peace where I was the only one compromising. I was the only one who feel weird in the room, and everybody else could just feel open to be themselves.
Yeah.
And I got sick of that.
Yeah.
To where I can't say, like we talked about earlier, I can't say no. It's like going over all of the points. I can't be myself. I can't do none of this because I'm, again, constantly be the one to compromise, constantly de-escalating, and wonder why I got people who don't want to help me.
Right.
And like we talked about, these people just say what, like the butthole just say what he got to say, and people move out the way and accept it. And people will accept you if you are true to yourself.
If you are you.
And that means some people can't be around you no more. And that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Because in order to elevate, you're gonna have to let something go.
Fact.
And why are you trying to hold on to somebody who don't even want you there? Why are you trying to hold on to somebody who don't want to see you at your best?
Come on.
And
yeah, that's the thing too. You were saying you gotta let some people go. Sometimes we not the tough guy that we hope and wish that we was. So some people it's like, I'm not about to argue with this person every week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I was just that type of person, where we just roasting and capping each other. And, now I can go back and forth and roast. I can hang around some roasters. But I mean, some people got friend groups where they just, what I'm saying? It's just being tough is a part of their thing. You know what I'm saying? And they always in situations where it's a wrestle and a fight going on or something going on, So, but sometimes you got to realize like, oh, don't get me wrong, I ain't no pushover, but I'm not the person that's gonna be fighting and scrapping all the time. You know what I'm saying? That's just not me.
So we got a couple questions from people who ask us throughout the week, a couple things. And the question is, how do I stop being a pushover without becoming bitter or heartless?
Man, bro, that is a good question. And like we're saying, we're gonna give our email at the end of this too for people to send us more questions. But yeah, that is a good question because the reason why I say that is I used to kind of think like that, like, you know, I don't know, man. I don't want to be a heartless, uh, bitter person. Like, yeah, I see somebody doing something, taking up for themselves. I see them doing that. I be like, yeah, they just a mean, bold person like that. They just riding to the core. You know what I'm saying? No, they're not riding to the core. They're taking up for themselves. So, I would say you definitely we have to stand on our principles, stand on our self-love and our self-respect. And when you standing on that, don't look at it like uh you're not doing this to offend somebody. You're doing this to protect your own self. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing I do to defend myself is necessarily just to hurt somebody else. It's not. I mean, unless they were trying to hurt me, but it's to make sure I'm good. So it's like you got to keep that in focus. But what you think?
You can't have kindness without boundaries.
All right.
So it's not about being a pushover or becoming a heartless. You can't worry about other people who violate you.
Right.
If you make a boundary and they violate that boundary, you can't worry about that.
Mm.
You trying to save them, but like they don't care
Yeah.
because they violated. And also sometimes people, you got to understand that they see your worth, they just don't value it. So make the boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody cross, and somebody violate, don't let nobody disrespect you.
Right.
And I know it seemed kind of militant and like and bold because it is. That's how you got to be.
Yeah, the world is bold, man. That's how it is, man.
That's how you got to be.
Yeah.
So we got another question is, how do I stand up for myself when I spent years trying to keep the peace?
Well, I say one thing about it, it starts with self-love. It starts with self-love. That almost sound like me, low key. Like that's something that somebody asked that because that low key, that's another question that sounds like something I would ask. You have to let me see. I wrote some notes down. Um, what I put down. You was never you were never called to preserve fake peace. It was never your job to preserve a fake peace.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um you have to start stepping into truth. And like we was talking about throughout the podcast, reality. You have to deal with who you are now. You know what I'm saying? And love yourself. Main key thing I can tell you to do is love yourself as much as you can. It's literally starts there. That's step one, is the self-love. Cause it ain't no once you love yourself, you'll naturally protect yourself. You'll naturally, it just kick in. But listen to us too, because we're gonna help you do that. But because I it will naturally kick in, but you don't want to regress into old habits. So keep in mind that you were tripping and you was a chump. Keep that in mind.
And you have to get used to being uncomfortable.
Mhm.
This is not a comfortable thing, being authentic, if you've never been authentic.
Yeah.
You're not going, it don't feel good at first.
Mhm.
You don't know what feel good. It's like you like that Drake song, I've been down so long to look like up to me. You thinking laying down and getting down is
Right.
it feel good.
Right.
And standing up feel weird. You get shaky. It's like you like, man, it's like I ain't used to saying what I I ain't used to keeping my word.
Yeah, yeah, to
I
yourself. Yeah.
let I'll let anything bend and break.
Mhm.
And if people can't understand this is who you are, that's why I said you gotta let people go.
Yep. Yeah.
So you gotta let people go.
Some people, everybody can't come along for the ride.
And they only want you when you being a punk.
Yeah, man, you said something. That is so true. If you ain't no punk, they don't want you anyway. Man, hey, man, go on, man. You change, man.
Yeah,
What's
right.
wrong with you, man? Up here taking up for yourself and carrying on, man. I don't want that. That's how they be acting, man.
They only want you when you ain't asking for gas money.
Yeah,
they
I'm trying to tell you,
they only
man.
want you when you telling the they only want you when you ain't demanding they split the bill.
Yep.
They want you
Mhm.
being a punk. They want to be able to take advantage of you. And again, worry about yourself.
Yep.
Make sure you're peaceful. Make sure, and when you start, like I said, when you start holding boundaries and you realize it is so much better being by myself
Yeah.
than bending over and becoming a pretzel just to be around other people. And you start to attract people who cool with you. People don't you start to
Mhm.
attract people who just like you.
Who genuinely, that man, you have some genuine friendships and relationships
Yeah.
when you do that.
And this is gonna be our last question.
Mhm.
Is being nice actually holding me back from my purpose?
The answer is, come on, y'all know what it is. It is yes,
Yes,
you know it
sir.
is, man.
Yes, sir.
But you go in on that if you want. Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
being nice is holding you back from your purpose. You're letting people go before you. If God gave you a gift, use it for yourself first.
Yes.
Could you imagine? That's why Andre 3000 look weird whistling, playing the flute for no money.
Mm.
Cause you go like, this dude deserves to like be on stage
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's doing it, he's just doing it for nothing. But when
Mm.
you take that same person and you put him on stage and he benefits from the gift and you benefit from the gift too,
Yeah.
it's totally different.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's totally different. So yes, being nice, not going first. If you get there, go first. Go first. That means if you want to hold the door open for somebody, step inside and
Hmm.
open the door. Don't stay outside and open the door first.
That's
If you
real.
feel like you got to. You're gonna have to
I'm gonna speak on that too, man. I got a little tip on that, man.
you
Yeah.
gonna and if you are not clear in your language, in your speech, in your actions, in your belief,
Mhm.
you leave space in a room for people to be on craziness.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's like you have to start to um you have to start to be able to be okay with being you and what that entails. That means like when you actually become a nice guy, that don't mean everything stop being a nice, that don't mean that everything gonna go your way.
Right.
It's ups and downs, and you gotta be okay.
Yep.
When it's uncomfortable, be uncomfortable. And when it's fun, let it be fun. Stop trying to make the uncomfortable part fun. It's not. It's uncomfortable.
Right.
When you go in the gym, it's resistance for a reason. It's hard.
Real talk. Man, and dudes holding the doors open for other dudes and waiting for this. Man, I be thinking like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially now if they just right there. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming in. But it's like, man, some dudes we hold the door open, man. Like they'll see you in the parking lot, you getting out your car, they still holding the door. Like you can let the door close. But that's like a nice guy thing too. Is like you don't want the door to be closing while they walking up. But it's like I'm a man, my arm work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna look at it as disrespect if you just keep moving.
You make the other person run.
Yeah. Yeah, just making it look like, man, why they keep holding the door? What's going on?
You know, you get
Yeah, I know, because then you gotta jog up in there like, oh man, dang. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, but that I just wanted to say a little bit about that. But our email, so y'all can email us.
student enrollment at student enrollment 2024 at gmail.com. We're gonna put that in the description under the link.
Yeah, please send us some more questions. We appreciate y'all. Hit that like button, subscribe button, follow us, TikTok, Instagram, everything.
All right, this end of this episode, Underachievers. I'm Brother Khalif.
I'm Brother DeMarcus.
Peace.
Peace.